If you've landed here, you've probably heard about n8n. Maybe someone said it's like Zapier but self-hosted, or that it's a no-code automation tool. But here's what most tutorials won't tell you up front. n8n is not for everyone, and understanding what it actually is will save you hours of frustration. In this video, I'm going to explain what n8n really is at its core, show you exactly when it makes sense to use it, and, just as importantly, when you should walk away and use something else instead. By the end, you'll know if n8n is the right tool for your project, and you'll have the mental framework to learn it efficiently. At its core, n8n is a workflow automation platform. Think of it as a visual programming environment where you connect services together without writing traditional code. But here's the key distinction. n8n is technical-friendly, not truly no-code. It sits in this middle ground between click-and-drag tools like Zapier, which are easy but limited, and full programming, which is powerful but time-consuming. n8n gives you three critical things. First, visual flow design. You build workflows by connecting nodes. Each node is a step in your automation. This visual approach makes complex logic easier to understand than scattered scripts. Second, self-hosting control. Unlike Zapier or Make, n8n can run on your own server. This means your data never leaves your infrastructure. There's no per-execution pricing, just server costs, and you have full control over versions and updates. Third, technical flexibility. You can write JavaScript directly in workflows, call APIs with custom headers, manipulate JSON data structures, basically anything a developer could do, but with a visual wrapper. Here's what trips people up. n8n thinks in data items and execution flows, not just trigger then action. When a workflow runs, data flows through nodes like water through pipes. Each node can transform that data, branch the flow into multiple paths, loop over items, or stop everything with an error. If you've used spreadsheet formulas or basic programming, this will click quickly. If you're coming from pure no-code tools, there's a learning curve. Let's be brutally honest about when n8n is the wrong choice. First, simple, single-service automations. If you just need to post tweets when you publish a blog, use the platform's native features or Zapier. n8n is overhead here. Second, you need support and guarantees. n8n is open source. There's no phone support. If you're running business-critical workflows and need SLAS, consider n8n Cloud's paid tiers or a commercial alternative. Third, your team is 100% non-technical. If writing something like $JSON.email feels intimidating and nobody wants to learn expressions, stick with simpler tools. n8n requires some technical comfort. Fourth, one-off tasks. Need to migrate data once? Write a Python script. n8n shines for recurring workflows, not one-time jobs. Bottom line, don't use n8n just because it's free. Use it because it fits your technical level and your specific automation needs. Now here's where n8n absolutely dominates. First, complex multi-step workflows. You're pulling data from an API, transforming it, checking conditions, splitting into batches, then pushing to 3 different services. n8n's visual editor makes this manageable where code would become spaghetti. For example, syncing CRM data to marketing tools, updating spreadsheets, and sending Slack alerts, all based on conditional logic. Second, data privacy requirements. Medical data, financial info, personal customer data. If you can't send it to third-party servers, self-hosted n8n is ideal. Third, high-volume automations. Running 10,000 executions per month on Zapier gets expensive. With n8n, you pay for server costs only. Past a certain volume, it's dramatically cheaper. Fourth, custom API integration. You're working with internal tools, obscure APIs, or need custom authentication flows. n8n's HTTP request node and code node give you full flexibility. Fifth, developer-enhanced teams. You have at least one technical person who can set up expressions, debug JSON, and troubleshoot. They can build workflows that less technical teammates execute. If two or more of these apply to you, n8n is likely your best choice. Let me show you what a real n8n workflow looks like in 30 seconds. First, a schedule trigger. This runs every morning at 9 a.m. Second, an HTTP request node. This fetches weather data from an API. Third, an IF node. This checks if temperature is greater than 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Fourth, a Slack node. This sends an "It's hot today" message if true. 4 nodes, simple logic. But notice, we could easily add a database lookup, a loop to check multiple cities, a function to format the message, or error handling if the API is down. That's the power. Start simple, expand infinitely. Let's recap. n8n is a visual workflow automation platform for technical-friendly users. It's powerful for complex recurring workflows with privacy or cost concerns. It's overkill for simple zaps or fully non-technical teams. Your homework before the next video. First, ask yourself, do I need an 8n strengths, or am I just chasing free? Second, if yes, decide, self-hosted or n8n cloud. Third, create a free n8n cloud account, no credit card needed, to follow along. In the next video, we'll dive into how n8n actually thinks, understanding nodes, connections, and execution order. This is the mental model that makes everything else click. If this was helpful, drop a comment with what you want to automate, and I'll see you in the next one.